Laurie loved to nibble on grapes and a slice of avocado too. His best friend was Jungle the cat. He raised her from a kitten. Checkpoint first met Laurie last year. A senior citizen, he could be a little grumpy, but he'd had a tough start in the world. Over the years, he suffered broken ribs, stress, alopecia, mental health struggles, and more recently, Parkinson's, the monkey kind. You see, little Laurie, the capuchin monkey, escaped a life in the circus to spend his twilight years with Carolyn Press-McKenzie from animal welfare charity Hoo-Ha. But today the pair was forced to say goodbye after Laurie's health rapidly deteriorated. He stopped eating and his body began to shut down. We spoke to his carer, Carolyn, just after Laurie was put to sleep.
I don't know if you can have a good passing. It was quite beautiful. Because he's so weak, he snuggled in a fluffy blanket on my knee, and we were able to just hold his hand and tell him we loved him, tell him New Zealand loved him. He's affected so many people's lives, and we gave him an injection just to make him go sleepy, and then he had the injection to send him to heaven. But he was very much in our arms and loved, and he just gazed at us, and you could just see he was ready, but he also, sorry. You could see he was ready, but you could just see gratitude, which seems like a strange thing to say, but the connection we had with him makes me feel like at least I know from the bottom of my heart we got it right, and we got it right at the end. I'm just so sorry that he was so broken when we found him.
God, that must have been tough for you.
Any loss is tough, and I'm sure everybody in New Zealand knows what it feels like. But you do feel guilt that society has caused so much damage. And we have one monkey who's still in our care, Carol, and she's actually old. She's even older than Laurie, and she's a macaque, a different type of monkey, and her thumbs have been chopped off. So when she was in the circus, she's quite a strong personality, so they chop their thumbs off so they can't grab and hold things quite so tightly. So anyway, so we've still got 4 monkeys to love and care for, but for me, you have a special person in your life. Laurie was my special person, so yeah, definitely very devastating, but I'm very proud of him.
So those last moments with Laurie, I'm sure you'll treasure them. You said you were holding his hand. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, he was very calm. He just basically, he makes these little jungle noises, and he does them when he's happy. And so when he was in when he was in his prime, I'd walk into his big enclosure. It was all full of trees and stuff. I'd walk in and he'd just dive bomb me from above, but he'd dive bomb me upside down, and I'd have to quickly hook my arm under him, and then he'd wrap his tail around me and swing, and he'd literally laugh. It was just such a cheeky little giggle and a laugh, and then I'd tickle his tummy and he'd smile. And although his body was weak and he was clearly failing, just wrapped in my arms just now, I was giggling with him, and he was just making, little tiny soft jungle noises, and just his eye contact, just the way he looks into your soul, and yeah, it was just really, really special. So I felt, sometimes you're with an animal and it's got to go to heaven and it doesn't understand, it's scared or it's struggling. There was none of that. It was very, very peaceful. He trusted completely, and we had some really special moments. So I will treasure them forever, of course, but it made me realise that, we were the good guys doing the right thing for him because we loved him.
I just want to ask about Jungle, the little kitten that Laurie raised, who's obviously now a lot older. They've been together for ages, so...
Yeah, years and years and years. I'm saying 10 or 11 years, but I could be wrong. It could be longer. They're best friends. So Jungle's at home, and her life is about to change because she's just lost her best friend.
So does Jungle know something's not right?
She was on her back with her legs in the air purring when we left, so she's a little bit all about her. But they did adore each other. So they slept together, and she will be fine because obviously we still love her and we'll make sure she's happy.
And that's Carolyn Press-McKenzie, who was Laurie's carer. And Laurie died today. He was rescued from really the circus and lived out his last pensioner days with the people from Hoo-Ha.